of Dr. Andre and Pastor Jenny Ray, but welcome to another exciting and exhilarating episode of Behind the Faith. Tando, what an incredible time we're going to have here today.
I am so excited. We are at the King's Children's Home right here in East London, and there's so many children who are here. And I know, you know what, we're going to learn so much today, and I know you at home are going to be blessed by this, and you are going to be moved to action. So stay tuned. It's going to be an epic episode.
And of course, you know, we're not alone here. We're with the Faith Cares team with Pastor Carl and Pastor Ronel from Faith Cares. Pastor Ronel, why are we here today?
Pastor Bande, Faith Cares is a humanitarian organization, and we are here to support those in need. And we hand out food parcels, blankets, clothing, and other material needs.
Well, thank you, Pastor Ronel. So we know why we're here, but Pastor Carl, we're here because we got a bunch of people supporting us out there. I know you got a short message for them as well.
You know, Pastor Bande, not everyone can be here. There are so many people out there, and we really want to appreciate those people that are supporting us. You make it possible for us to do the work that we're doing. We just want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We are taking whatever you're sowing into this venture that we're doing. We're taking that and we're making this possible. We thank each and every one of you.
Well, we thank each and every one of you, our partners, for connecting with us. Stay tuned. Join the conversation on social media. Be a part of what's happening. Now we're going to have a quick chat with Tracy King, the director of the King's Children's Home. Well, welcome Tracy King, and we are here in this beautiful location. Tracy, please tell us where we are right now and what you guys do around here.
Good morning, Pastor Banda. Thank you so much. I am Tracy King, and I'm the director and the founder of the King's Children's Home, and we are based here in Glen Eden, East London.
Okay, so what is the King's Children's Home and what do you guys do around here?
So the King's Children's Home was founded in 2008, so we have been going for 11 years now. And it started with a little 8-week-old baby boy that was abandoned in the bushes opposite our home. So police were called to the scene, they retrieved the baby, wrapped him in a towel and came knocking on my sliding door. And here I was faced one Monday afternoon with a little baby wrapped in a towel, with the policewoman asking me if I would take this baby into our home. So, of course, we said yes. We took this little child into our home, cared for him over the next few months while social workers were busy looking for his mom and investigating his case. The end result was that this little boy was put up for adoption, and as a result, my husband and I said, we think we are the answer to our own prayers because we had really been praying for a good Christian family for this little boy, and we ended up adopting Benjamin. And after we adopted Benjamin, my husband said, you know, if we can help one child, we can help more than one. And Benjamin's adoption really became the catalyst for the work that I am now doing. So out of that, we founded the King's Children's Home, where we provide a place of safety for children who find themselves in a situation where they are abandoned or severely abused, and they come into our home and live with us for a few months or sometimes even a few years until such time as we can find families for them.
Okay, so at present, how many kids do you have, and what age range are we looking at, you know, from the youngest to the oldest kid here?
So we always work with 40. We always run at full capacity, and we have children from birth to 7 years of age. So we are given that first part of those children's lives to really advocate for them. And the first 7 years of any child's life, like we know, is the critical stages of development. And give me a child for the first 7 years, and I can show you the woman or the man that they will grow up to be. So it's a wonderful opportunity to just pour the love of Jesus into the lives of these children.
Well, Tracy, let's quickly talk more about what you guys do here, because you mentioned it's a home, it's a place of safety. Now, I've heard terms thrown around like foster home, place of safety, adoption, all these things. Briefly just explain to us what's the difference between a foster home, a place of safety, and an adoption, basically.
Well, when a child finds himself in an immediate trauma situation, abuse situation, or an abandoned situation, they need to immediately be placed into a place of safety. So Sometimes that is an individual who has been screened as a safety parent who will take that abandoned child into their home. Safety placement is for 3 to 6 months. According to our Child Care Act, the social worker must then make a decision on that child's case within those 3 to 6 months. Foster care is when a child is placed into a family for 2 years, a 2-year period. Foster care is always in the back of your mind, you have to know if you become a foster parent that that child might be reunified back into their family. And when social workers place a child into foster care, it is with the idea of reunifying that child back into their own family at a later stage. Adoption is very different. Adoption is when a child is placed into a family permanently. They take on that family's surname and they become as if it is a child from your own loins. So adoption is very special. It's often a choice that people make to grow their families through adoption. I believe it is the Father's heart, as He has demonstrated adoption to us as His children. Why would we not choose to extend our hands to someone in need through the spirit of adoption?
You know, Tracy, we were talking now and I asked you a personal question. I asked you, how many children do you have? And you gave me quite an interesting countdown. If I'm not mistaken, 9 children that you have in your family?
Yes, my husband and I have caught the vision of adoption. And we have 9 children of our own, of which 3 are biological and 6 are adopted. And adoption is something very close to my heart. I really see what God has demonstrated to us and given us the opportunity in turn to demonstrate to others through adoption.
Okay, so through everything that you do, as part of the King's Children's Home, I do understand that raising kids is it really isn't an easy feat. And also, there's finances required. Do you get any form of support? How can the person at home actually find a way to support this entire organization in the work that you're doing?
Tandy, that's such an interesting question because God has had me on a journey for the last 11 years of my life regarding walking things out by faith. So we are not supported at this stage by government in any form. We don't receive any help from social development. We have never received a single child grant. And we've looked after over 260 children over the last 11 years. So God, from the very beginning, just instilled in me. He said to me the one day, Tracy, who are you trusting? Are you trusting man for provision or are you trusting me? And I had to come to that point where I had to say, Lord, my focus will be on you and you alone. And so I have always walked everything out by faith. So whether I'm trusting the Lord for nappies for the day for the children, or whether I'm trusting Him for a lump sum of cash to come in so we can pay our staff, nothing is impossible with the Lord. And I have seen that. That is my testimony of faith that we have walked out over the last 11 years as we've been running this project. It's by faith and by faith alone that we have forged ahead for the kingdom of God.
Tracy's trying to find out from you. Obviously, you guys are a registered organization, government registered and everything. So you guys also deal with national and international adoptions. And obviously, you work through social workers and everything. And how did you found all that entire process? And can actually people internationally do adopt, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes, a lot of particularly our special needs children really, really struggle to find families nationally in South Africa to adopt them. And you can understand that because we deal with a range of special needs. Children who are maybe Down syndrome or have cerebral palsy, children who maybe have been abused to the point where they live with a colostomy bag, children who have a low mental function, children who have club feet, children who are HIV positive, children who just have myriads and myriads of different kinds of special needs. And it's very difficult to find people in South Africa to take on our special needs children. And so when we cannot find a family, we will always try and find a family nationally first. But we also don't want these children sitting in institutions till they're 18. So if we have been unsuccessful, we will then try and do an international adoption and place these children on the children's waiting list in countries like the Netherlands or France or America that work with South Africa on adoptions. And to date, we've had a couple of successful international adoptions. Special needs children who would have lived their whole lives in an institution are now in families where they are thriving, they are being well educated, and their medical needs are being seen to in ways that we could not see to. So, and the families that come to fetch the children, the international families, they have a skill set that is suited to the needs of what that special need is that child is dealing with. They are well trained in that skill set even before they come to fetch the child. So it's really an awesome and very special thing to see when you work through an international adoption and see the quality of families that come forward for the children.
Now, Tracy, I know, obviously, understandably, we during this interview and throughout this entire program that we're having today, we're going to be having some video of some of the children. But obviously, just for the viewers at home to know, we're not going to be showing any children's faces. Obviously, we can't show the children's faces for legal reasons and just for the own safety of the children themselves, you know, and it's just common decency in that space. But some people feel, well, I can't sew financially, but they can come out and spend time with the children, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I always say that there is something that everybody can do towards helping orphans and orphan care and working with vulnerable children. First prize would be that people come forward and say, here I am, I want to adopt. If you cannot adopt, can you foster? If you cannot foster, could you safety place? If you can't safety place, can you donate? And donations could be in the form of finance, they could be in the form of time, they could be in the form of just provisions that are brought to the home. So we always, if you can't donate, what could you volunteer your time? So there's always something that everybody can do where orphans are involved. And our volunteers who come and donate their time are very special to us because it gives our children just an opportunity to receive touch and love and hugs and care and interaction. They also live in their own little world in a children's home, so it gives them the opportunity to see others from outside come in. And it gives an opportunity for our children to really see just the love of Jesus through the hands and the feet of those who come through our gate and interact with our children. So it's a very special thing when people come and volunteer their time at the children's home.
Tell us some of the stories about some of these kids.
Well, one story that really stands out, I think the most to me, is one of the things we always try and teach our children that we are raising, our own children in our family, my husband and I, is to live simply so that others may simply live. And this is a statement which we live out every day. We've made life choice decisions around this statement. We try and instill this into the lives of our children. And one of the ways we've done this is simply by not giving Christmas gifts at Christmas time, because we have 9 of our own and another 40 here, and if what we do for one, we want to do for all of them. At the same time, we don't want to put ourselves into debt over Christmas gifts. And so we've really chosen just the simplicity of what our value systems are at Christmas time, which is to share the love of Jesus, have family time together, and obviously, worship the King of Kings and come back to the real values of what Christmas is about. So in doing this, in living things out simply at Christmas, we have said to our children that there won't be gifts, and there hasn't been gifts for them that we have bought as parents over the last couple of years. And that's been fine as our children have been younger, but as they've got older, my children have said, Mom, maybe there'll just be one present under the tree this Christmas. And we've had to continually address the conversation of why we are choosing to live simply. And then a couple of years ago, we had a phone call at 8:30 on Christmas Eve, 24th of December, while everybody is partying and having fun and with their families. We are on duty, we are on call, we are still here for the children. We get a call from the police to say that they have found an abandoned child. And when this child came to us, we were horrified to see that she had been rummaging in the rubbish bins for food, but even worse than that, she had been eaten by rats on her body. And when my children saw this, they turned around and they said to me, "Mom, it's okay that there's no presents under the tree for us tomorrow. We now understand what Christmas is really about." And so it took this little child who came into our home on Christmas Eve, it took her life to actually massage that message into the lives of our children. The very things we had been trying to teach them, a little child actually taught them in the end. That to live simply means that sometimes we've got to consider what others need above what we need. And this little girl has, she's been doing very, very well with us. And it's just wonderful that we can actually be there for her in her greatest time of need. But more than anything else, I think the Lord taught us a lesson at that Christmas, to go back to the basics and to not forget, that He is the center of everything that we do.
Well, Tracy, concluding, but any special moments that you've ever experienced while here with the children? Like things that you can be like, wow, that was amazing.
My special moments are really when I see my children progress, and I see the light come into their eyes, and I see things that we've been working on with them, they get right, and it builds their self-esteem. For example, a little girl that came in with cerebral palsy and severe malnutrition. She was 5 years old, she couldn't even walk. And to see her now moving around, calling me mommy, trying to stand, trying to walk with a walker. These are massive achievements for her, and those are the things that bring me my reward in a day when I work with these children. Seeing the potential in each child, seeing the determination in each child to reach their potential is what really brings joy to my heart. And then obviously our end goal is always to place children into families. So when I see good quality families being raised up and stepping forward to bring a child into their home or take a child, that again is just the fruit of my labor and the reward for me to see that at the end of our time here with the children.
So there are tons of people watching at home, and I think it would be so key if you could just speak to those people at home and just share your heart, tell them how they can actually take action and really get involved, either in fostering, in adopting, in giving, in being a place of safety. I think you'll do a better job than I could ever. Just go ahead and address them.
My question really is, what has God placed in your hands? And there is something that you are holding right now that God has equipped you with, some talent, some gift, some ability that the Lord has placed in your hand. And just as God placed that stick in Moses' hand, and He said to Moses, throw that stick onto the ground, God in that moment demonstrated His power when Moses obeyed Him. And so as I ask that question, maybe you're saying, well, I've got some time that I could give. I have some financial donation that I could give. I have a skill that I could give. I have a mother's heart that I could give something towards nurturing those children. And whatever you have in your hand, whatever God has given you, take that and use it for His glory. Take that and use it for what is on the Father's heart. We need to pray prayers like, Lord, break my heart for what breaks yours. And when we genuinely pray those kind of prayers, God takes the little bit that we can offer Him, and He demonstrates His power in a miraculous way when we give Him the seed of what we have in our hands. So everybody can make a difference. We all have something that God has given us that we can use to extend His kingdom.
Well, that's perfect, as you said, Tando. That is something that obviously each and every single person out there can do, something in your hand to do something. So we're going to take a walk around with Tracy right now, and she's going to show us around the different classes where the kids sleep, where they get educated, and so we can see what King's Children's Home is all about and what they're doing in this amazing facility with the King family and doing the King's work. So let's quickly take a walk with Tracy. Let's look around and see what's happening right here at King's Children's Home.
Tracy, tell me all about this.
So on our property we have 4 safe houses, and this is safe house number 1. And each safe house has staff that sleep in the home with the children. They're the real unsung heroes on the project, the real mamas who look after the babies. And the children in this home are really like their own children. So we have a mixture of age groups, mostly because we have a lot of sibling groups.
Right.
And so we like to keep the sibling groups together. And that is just a brief overview of children who have come through the doors of Safe House 1, just this one safe house over the years, and been nurtured and have moved into families. So one of the greatest things for me is that each child that gets to come in, we get to pray over.
Nice.
And we ask the Lord for a prophetic word.
Yes.
And the Lord has given us a word for every child, which we have printed on their profile pictures there. And that is the prayer that we pray specifically for each child while they are with us during that time. So I love having that spiritual input in the lives of our children.
That's amazing. I see you've had twins as well.
We've had about 6 sets of twins.
Oh, wow.
Over the years, yes.
That's amazing.
So this is Safe House 2, and again it just works on the same principle of nannies, caregivers looking after the children.
So how many kids are in this one? 10. All right. That's awesome.
So this is the second phase of the children's home. We have a kitchen and a laundry room, and Safe House 3 and Safe House 4, and then we have a school classroom at the bottom. This is our classroom. What we really do is we divide these children into smaller groups throughout the day, and each group has an opportunity to come for 2 or 3 hours to the classroom with the teacher. We have qualified teachers, and our children at least get an opportunity to receive an education in this way. So the little group that is here at the moment is a little grade R and grade 1 group. And what have they been doing, Teacher Sarah?
We have been learning about reptiles today, so we're talking about animals, and so we did a little skewer snake baking day today with grapes and coloured icing.
There we go. You want to say hello to everybody? Hello! So this is Safe House 3, our 3rd safe house that we have, and we have 10 children here in Safe House 3 as well, and they stay in this little home with their caregivers. So this is Safe House 4, and our unsung heroes on the project are really our mamas, our caregivers, who look after our babies and our children, and they do a great job. This is Mama Caroline, and she is at the King's Children's Home. So what does this work mean to you, Caroline?
It means a lot, and Tracy, it really means a lot, because being here has made me proud of myself, and I can't afford, these kids need love, and for me to be here, I'm here for them, and also they are here for me, because of them now I am employed, I'm a proud mother at home, I can provide for my family because of them. Also, I do learn a lot of stuff here. There are things that I know now, things that I never knew. For instance, you knew the past, there were apartheid, things like that, but from one place, I've learned that there is still Ubuntu. She is just showing us Ubuntu. She is my employer, she is my friend. We just do relate here. There is not that thing that she is my employer. I'm not afraid of her, I can come to her with everything. She always assists us as a staff. We are so proud of her. And also she is showing us that we have to open our hearts. So that is why I am so grateful of being here. And what I like most about her, she is a woman of God. So whatever we do here, we know that she is here for us. We have to be here for the kids. So this is a really, really great place, and I enjoy myself, and I like being here.
What an incredible time we've had here at the King's Children's Home. You know, we've seen people just receive love, gifts, and everything. So I want to encourage each and every single one of you, you know what, if you feel in your heart that you want to connect with this type of a ministry, connect with us, connect with them online. All the details have been going out throughout the program for hours and their details. So Tando, what a time we've had today.
It's been awesome, and I really want to thank everybody who has partnered with the Faith Family of Networks. It's such a privilege to be able to give back to people. And what's so stunning is, I remember one of the ladies was actually saying, who's a staff member here, for her, it is so, it's overwhelmingly wonderful being involved in the organization, not only because of the type of organization it is, where she gives care and gives love, but she says she can actually provide for her family through, you know, what she's able to get here. And I think more than anything, having interacted and seen the love of Jesus made, you know, manifest and really put on display on a day-to-day basis, and that's what we're here for. So thank you for your partnership, thank you for your encouragement, thank you for your love gifts, thank you for your donations, your offerings, everything that you give towards this ministry. It really is an honor and a great privilege to be able to do this together. So yeah, it's been awesome, and I know you know you've got something in your hand that you want to, you know, put in the ground or put in the network. Go ahead and do it. That's it.
So we thank each and every single one of you. Even as Pastor Carl said, it's because of your faithful partnership and Tando shared that we are able to go out there. On behalf of Dr. Andre and Pastor Jenny Rabert, we love you. God bless you. Shalom.